Namaste students. Pushpa Vidya. I, JV and Dr. Chandrakala, Assistant Professor Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the classical conditioning. This type of condition was first investigated by Ivan. He primarily interested in the physiology of digestion. During his study, he noticed that dog on whom he was doing his experiment started secreting saliva. As soon as he saw the empty plate in which the food was served. He decided to design the experiment to understand the process of detail undergoing against the use of one again and again. In the first phase, the dog was placed in a box and harsh. The dog was left in the box for some time and then repeated number of times for different days. In meantime, in the a simple surgery was conducted, and one end of the tube was inserted into the jaw and other end of the tube was put into the milkmaid glass. The experiment was then set and illustrated. The second phase of the experiment, the dog was kept hungry and was placed in a pouch with one end of the tube entering the jaw of the other end into the glass jar. The bell was sounded, and immediately thereafter the food or the meat powder was served to the dog. The dog allowed to eat it. For the next few times, the meat powder was presented, and it was precised by the sound of the bell. After the number of trials, the test trial was introduced with everything and was the same as previous trial, but no food was allowed with the sound of the bell. The dog still salivated to the sound of the bell, expecting the presentation of the meat powder as the sound of the bell comes to the connection. This association of the bell or between the bell and the food results in the new response of the dog, that is salivation of the sound to the bell sound. That term is known as conditioning. You might have noticed the dog salivate when they present or when they are presented with food. So the food is thus an unconditional stimulus or a salivation which is followed by unconditional response. After conditional response, the salivation starts to occur in the presence of the sound of the bell. So the bell become a conditioned stimulus and the saliva secretion and the conditional response. This kind of conditional is called classical condition. The principles of classical conditions are extinction. It was noticed that in the conductive stimulus, the ringing of the bell is present alone a number of times without the food. The magnitude of the conditional response begins to decrease, or so does the probability of appearing all. So this response gradually disappear of the condition response and the disconnection of the response associated with the extinction, spontaneously or recovery. It was also discovered that after the extinction, there is a controlled response or no longer evident. The behavior after the reappearance of the spontaneous, but it, at a reduced intensity, the phenomenon of the reappearance was apparently condition response after an interval in which the pairing of the conditional stimulus and the unconditional stimulus has been repeated and is called spontaneous recovery. Stimulus generalization is the response of the stimulus in such a generalized way and was termed as the stimulus generalization, which refer to the particular stage of learning behavior in which an individual once conditioned to respond to the specific stimulus is made to the response in the same way in the response of the other similar nature. Stimulus discrimination. Stimulus discrimination is the opposite of the stimulus generalization, or a sharp contrast or to the response or to unusual fashion. The subject learns to react differently in different situations. Thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. If you have any queries, please write down in the comment box. We will resolve it in the